In this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 robberies that I think should be added to ERLC. If you agree with me or if you enjoy, drop a like and subscribe, but let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first robbery that I am going to talk about is actually one that you're probably not expecting. So recently we got the ability to steal cars inside of ERLC, but what I think would be really cool is if you could steal food trucks. Yes, that's right. If I join on to the 3 guys job and spawn in this food truck. Now, let me explain why I think this would be very cool. For starters, you hardly ever see these driving around the map. Now, what I think would be cool with this is how we have car robberies where cars just randomly park up in the parking spots and you can steal them. I think it would be really cool if these food trucks randomly spawned in and parked up at a place like this. For example, as you can see, this is food truck parking only. So imagine if every now and then an AI food truck was parked up here and you could come and buy food from it, for example. That would be pretty cool. And maybe even food could heal you, or it could make your stamina go up, or you know, things like that. Or maybe there was even like a hunger and a thirst thing in the game. That's a completely different idea though. But imagine if this food truck was parked up here, or even the Mexican restaurant one, or maybe an ice cream truck or something, and imagine you could come up and steal it in the same way that you can steal normal civilian cars. It's not a crazy suggestion, and it's not something that's really crazy either, because it is a good idea and it would make sense, and it would make perfect sense as well. Now, these aren't worth too much in real life, so I'm not really sure how realistic it is that people steal these food trucks, but I think it would be pretty cool. Maybe you could also have like a hostage situation with an AI, maybe the owner or the AI that's in the food truck you would have to like take out, and maybe they'll try and fight you back or something. Maybe you could get in some kind of crazy gunfight. That would be pretty cool. This idea has kind of been taken very extreme, but imagine how cool it would be if you could steal food trucks either from 3 guys or from the Mexican restaurant, or if they added things like an ice cream truck. That would be very cool. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. I like that idea, but of course let me know what you guys think about it, as I said. And well, the next robbery that I want to talk about is also to do with vehicles, and it is emergency service vehicle robberies. So obviously in real life, sometimes police cars and ambulances and things like that do actually get stolen. Now, it's very hard because they have like immobilizers and systems that like shut off the engines if they have been stolen. But imagine how cool it would be if you could steal like an ambulance or a police car, for example, and then maybe drive around in that ambulance, and it would be kind of a crazy police chase, because there'd literally be police cars chasing an ambulance that has been stolen. That'd be really cool. And like I said, it's not too unrealistic because it does happen in real life. Now, maybe you could get more money for doing this because maybe it would be more difficult. So for example, to add an extra level of difficulty to the car robberies, maybe if you stole a police car, then they would actually automatically call a police helicopter on you. Like, you'd automatically get a police helicopter chasing you if you steal a police car, and maybe it would follow you all the way until you hand your police car in over at the little garage over there. I forgot what it's called. The chop shop, I think. Imagine how much more difficult it would be if you had a police helicopter on you the whole time, from the second you started the robbery to the second you give it in at the chop shop. Imagine how much more difficult that would be. And also maybe there could be like more extra layers of security when stealing a police car or an ambulance, because obviously in real life they are very difficult to do. They have immobilizers, so maybe you had to bypass one of them, and then you had to bypass like the engine shut off thing, or maybe you had like a 30-second or a 60-second timer before the engine completely shuts off in the police car, so you had to get it really quickly over to the chop shop to sell it. I think that would be a really cool idea. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. I think there's definitely a way that they could do that, and I think the money you could get from that would be really high, similar to the bank truck robbery, how it's really difficult to find a bank truck to rob, then to actually rob the bank truck, etc. I think it would be cool if police cars and ambulances and even like DOT things or maybe fire engines worked in that way as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But the final one that I want to talk about is gun store and tool store robberies as well. So I know you can already kind of rob the gun store and the tool store. Let me join onto the civilian team and drive over to the gun store to show you a little bit about what I mean. So as I said, you can steal sort of from the gun store and the tool store, but you can only steal from the cash registers. Now imagine how cool it would be if you could actually steal from the gun store, but instead of getting cash, cash, you actually got a gun. That would be really cool. So for example, in real life, not every robbery is about cash, right? Sometimes they rob things like a gun store or a car, for example, to have that car and drive around that car, or a gun store to have that gun and use that gun. So right now, all you can do, as I said, if I just purchase this gun, is shoot the cash registers here like this, which is pretty cool because then you can come and take the cash here and you get a little bit of money. But as you can see by the amount of money, you only get 1,000-ish per robbery, and that's quite a high amount as well. Sometimes you can only get like 600, especially if you don't have the game pass to get more money. But imagine if you could come here and maybe with the glass cutter like we have in the jewelry store, maybe you could glass cut this case here and take these guns, take both of them, and maybe you could take these guns and these guns and these and this gun and sell it at the chop shop, for example, to get cash. Or you could just keep the gun. You could take this gun and you could keep that gun. Imagine how cool that would actually be. Similar to how you can do with the cars. You can take the cars, and if there's no police, you can just drive around in that car, I think, and keep that car. That would be very, very cool. And again, it wouldn't be too difficult, and it's not too extreme for them to add, because there already is a glass cutter, and it's the exact same thing as the jewelry store, just instead of getting cash, you'd get a gun. I think that would be a really, really cool idea. And the same with the tool store as well. Maybe it was a bit easier to do in the tool store, and maybe you could just go in and maybe off the shelves, for example, you could just take one of the items. So if I drive over to the tool store, how they have shelves in there, these shelves don't really have any use at the moment other than aesthetics. But say maybe over here they actually sold like the drills, and then over here they sold the glass cutters, and then over here maybe the RFID disruptors, and you could actually walk up and maybe do like some kind of secret code here to actually take the drills. Or maybe they could do it in a way similar to how you can rob the bank, where it's a whole system, and maybe you have to like go around the back and shut off the CCTV cameras and then run inside, and you can steal loads and loads of stuff from in the tool store and get loads and loads of money from it. Or as I said, they could just do it in a simple way where you come in, take a drill, take a glass cutter, whatever you want, do a little code and then run out and just get that for free. Or they could do it like the bank and get a whole lot of cash from it. And I also think that it would be pretty cool if you could do things like this with the limousines and the taxis. Imagine how cool it would be if you could actually steal a limousine and sell that for a bit more, because they're quite rare to see. But imagine if you got more money from stealing that. I think that would be a really, really cool idea. And of course they can also do this with every other civilian job. So they could do it with the postal service, they could do it with garbage trucks, they could do it even with the fuel truck. Maybe that would be pretty cool. And in the future, of course, when semi trucks or trucks with trailers finally get added, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. I'd love to find out. But that is all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you did, make sure that you do drop a like and also subscribe. Check out everything else from the description as well. But hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye.